Okay, and yes, so we are going to get started. So again, thank you so much for being with us this evening, everybody. It's wonderful to have you. We have a lot of exciting information to share about what is going on in Calgary. What is this buzz? What is these price points we're seeing? What about these 10% and 15% deposits? We're going to get into all of that. There are so many benefits to investing in Calgary, Alberta, and there's just a few listed here. We're going to clarify and run through those points for you today. Okay, so I am Stephanie Lowe. For those of you who don't know, we'll have Boyd Russell. He's on the call today. He is our broker of record, and he's going to be hopping on and sharing some information with you guys as well, some very exciting information. And we have Sarah Palavan Sharif. She's on the call as well. She will be moderating the chat. She's going to introduce herself. She is my partner. So let's get started. All right, so I do invite you guys to make sure that you go ahead and grab a pen and paper just to take some notes. Again, we will be sharing a lot of information with you guys today, okay? And some questions and stuff may pop up that may need a little bit of clarification for you. So we will want to make sure that we get everything addressed, okay? Towards the end, so there is a special surprise for all of you who stay on the call. We're going to let you know about the hot list, how many units we have left, some of our best price units that we have, and also some upcoming opportunities that are going to be available for those of you who stick with us through to the end. So we definitely invite you to do that. Maybe you want to grab a beverage as well and just enjoy the presentation. So L&T Properties and Development, that's myself and Sarah, and we just do a lot of work in pre-construction, really passionate about what we do. As you get to know us, you'll know we're very, very like heart-centered, people-centered. We want you guys to be successful. It's so important to us, and we're really happy to have the opportunity to be with all of you guys on the call today and just share our passion with you. So again, my name is Stephanie Lowe. I'm an award-winning realtor and author of Wealthy Home Sellers, and I'm a realtor with Manor Hill Realty. I'm also an investor myself. So as I'm speaking to you guys and what I've written and when I do my presentations and talks, it is a lot from just being like very active, being on the road and being engaged with real estate. And also, you know, so I can kind of speak to what I'm actually seeing and experiencing and have gone through myself. So it's very important, as I said, to me to really just help people. I want people to be successful. And I'm kind of one of those people. I was giving a talk one time and I'm talking about how we can invest and leverage and get our next property and use that one and leverage and get our next property. And someone popped on the chat and kind of said, so like to what end? And I was like, what? To what end? You know, until you reach your goals, until you reach your dreams. So I kind of dream really, really big, and I'm someone who just wants to see everybody's big dreams come into reality. And sometimes it takes breaking it down step by step and really understanding what's the best way to just get your foot in the door and kind of go through the process. So that's something that I do, very creative, very strategic, and just you know, help people kind of get to where they want to be. I help people buy and sell their properties, definitely with an investor's mindset. So I think that's definitely a spin. When we're listing and we're on the road looking at properties, I'm still thinking about what kind of neighborhood we're buying into, even if it's a family home or you're downsizing or upsizing. But I still want it to be, you know, a valuable piece of real estate in your portfolio that's going to serve you and your children and your children's children. I love pre-construction. You will see me posting about pre-construction all day, probably 3 or 4 times a day. I get really excited about the projects. I love to see things just, again, go from a dream to come out into reality. And I've seen some amazing communities blossom and just come to light over the few years. And I've seen people expand again their portfolios and become millionaires through real estate. So I'm really, really passionate about pre-construction, and I'm going to share some exciting points about pre-construction today and how it can work from you, the flexibility that's there, and also the fun part of picking out your colors and your floor plans and putting it all together. Generational wealth and financial freedom is something we're going to talk about today, and what is freedom to you. So again, we all have different goals and visions and different things that we want to see for ourselves. And, I just want to help people just connect with those dreams. I'm very passionate about real estate because it's something that really transformed my life, and definitely created a lot more freedom, ability, and time to be with my son and to travel and work, and just opened so many doors for me. I've learned a lot about passive income and cash flow, and investing and diversifying and all that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely passionate about it. I always have my little slogan here is that we're living an abundant life. Okay. And that's abundant in all areas, abundance in our mind, our thoughts. If we're limiting our minds in fear, and, that's going to stop us. We're not going to be able to get where we want to be. And if we don't have our health, if our body isn't, vibrant and abundant and healthy, then, that's going to limit our progress in life as well. And then abundance and bank account, I think that's clear. I want, again, that financial freedom and access to help people and help your family and be a solution to people who, are in need. And so that's how I really see real estate as a very powerful tool. All right. And I'm going to introduce you to Sarah. So Sarah, if you could hop on and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah, and nice meeting everyone. Basically, everything Stephanie said is perfect. That's exactly why I do what I do. And I love her passion about, real estate and everything else. And the other goal that I have is to show you how your money can make money for you instead of you working for money, and you being able to do whatever you want to do. And mine is, I want to travel. I want to spend as much time as I can with my son by the beach, and I don't want to have to worry about my bills. And pre-construction has given me that ability. And and this is why I do what I do, because it changed my life, real estate. And I want to be able to do that for anybody that I meet, if they're willing. So I'll be around. If you guys have any questions, I'll be watching the chat, and we'll get started.
Excellent. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Also, just want to give a big shout out, a big welcome to all of the industry experts that we have on the call today. Mortgage brokers, our team at Manor Hill, our broker of record. And so just wanted to just say hi to you guys and thank you so much for being on the call with us today. So I wanted to talk about discussing your why, and how real estate can really help and has helped many people really expand their portfolios and in fact become millionaires through real estate. It's an investment platform and stream that I think is extremely lucrative, helpful, beneficial, solid. There's a lot to it. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities that are going to pop up to you throughout real estate. And I think an important tool to help guide you and navigate through all the different opportunities that are popping up is really understanding and connecting with your why, understanding the vision that you have and connecting from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow is going to help to make sure you're, having the most direct and successful path to where it is that you want to be. So, what are you working for? If you do have a traditional 9 to 5, those hours of travel and being in the office, what else could you be doing with those hours in a day? Kind of considering your time, and when you can really understand how to leverage with real estate, as I mentioned, it really helps to open up and create a little bit more freedom of time for you to be doing more of what you like to do. For me, it's being on the beach. How many streams of income do you have? I know many of us have, probably heard about creating 7 streams of passive income to help you to really attain and maintain financial freedom. So how many streams do you have? How can real estate contribute to be one of those streams for you? And again, there are many options in real estate to do that for you. Again, do you have any sources of passive income? So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the units in this project that we're talking about today, Sandgate and Mahogany, and how owning real estate can actually give you some few different sources of passive income. whether it be through condos or multi-unit buildings, and you're having, a few properties that are bringing you so much each month, can help to replace some of the income through more traditional forms, right? Freeing up more time. What have you put in place for your future and your future generations? This is something that I always thought about. I used to own a wellness center. I'm extremely passionate about it, and I still am very, very much involved in my yoga and meditation and health and all of those things. But I found I was in my building 12 hours a day, like happily drinking tea on the floor, very happy, very happy to be there. But I started thinking about my future. I can't be here forever. If I wanted to have a family, and how would I be able to do both of those things? Being self-employed, what kind of retirement do I have set up for myself in the future? And I really started thinking about these things. And again, real estate is very strategic for that. I started realizing, okay, I'm going to have one property that's going to be for my retirement. I'm going to have one property that's bringing me passive income as I get older in retirement. I have a house for my son. So if he wants to start a business or go to school, he has that. And I started looking at how real estate can really serve to create the future. What can I pass down onto him, and what can he pass down onto his kids? And, real estate is something that is transferable. And so it can stay in your family land, for many, many generations. Money mindset, again, connecting with your why. Sometimes people have a lot of limited thoughts as far as attaining wealth and being a millionaire and being financially free. What kind of money mindset do you have? It's excellent to just review that. Do you think that having a lot of cash flow or owning multiple properties is bad? Definitely would challenge that thought to you, because there's a lot that you can do to help people, and people in need, and opening schools and orphanages and all that kind of stuff, right? Having money and having influence and power really helps to solve a lot of solutions. So really connecting with your why is going to help to drive you through this facet. So what is your idea of financial freedom? Again, different for everybody. For some people, it's just a little bit of extra cash every month as they're working their traditional jobs. Again, and for some people, it's being able to travel around and own properties in different areas, and you get to travel around and check on your Airbnb in the Caribbean, and so what is it for you? Really, I really encourage you to connect with your why. Again, if you've got that pen and paper out, dream, put down those points. What is your why? What is your money mindset? And how can you free yourself, right? Next point. So real estate as a wealth building vehicle. Again, what is financial freedom for you? And as I said, through my years in real estate, I have actually seen people over the years become millionaires, expand their portfolios, and really just transform their life. So I've seen it myself, how real estate can be a vehicle for financial freedom. So again, that main point of knowing your why before investing is going to help you to navigate through the different opportunities that you're going to see pop up. There's a few different strategies in real estate. I strongly believe in buying and holding. And that's something maybe a little bit more advanced, or even when you talk about diversification, there's going to be some properties you really want to hold on to, because I always give this example. I grew up in Cambridge, Ontario, and our big detached 3-bedroom house, maybe almost 3,000 square feet at the time when we bought it, was 189,000. Those homes today obviously are over $1 million in that small little town. And I can see the value of holding on to valuable real estate over time and what it can do for you, right? Assignment strategy. So I find assignment strategy is excellent for people really trying to get their foot in the game of real estate. And it's something that is available to you through pre-construction. It's a way that you guys can get together, purchase properties, kind of flip them, get a hold of more money, build that down payment that you need, or that deposit that you need, and then continue to get into real estate and expand. So there's a few, more short-term versus more long-term. Buying in up and coming neighborhoods. So definitely something we'll look for, and something we're going to be talking about today with this really exciting project that we're going to share. When you start to understand, I put there the crystal ball effect, when you start to understand what are the key features of the area that we're investing that are going to likely cause our property value to shoot up. We want to consider these things. And when we're buying in up and coming neighborhoods where we know population is going to be increasing, there's new industries, a new business coming in, new transportation routes are being developed, more people, more flow, more access. What's the rental population like? All these little things we can consider that are going to help to know that we're buying and investing in a really good area that's going to work for us long term. I also consider investing in real estate you can rent. We know right now the market is like, I say it's a little wonky, it's a little unpredictable right now. But through these little dips and times of uncertainty, if you've invested in a piece of real estate that is rentable, you rent during those times where your property is maybe, doing a little bit of flips and dips in value, and you're able to ride out that time. You're able to maintain the cash flow. You're able to collect the rent until things kind of even out. And then the property value starts rising again. You can watch the market. You have the ability to do that. So it's important to invest in something where you can see that, if you're not there, or maybe you're living it in a time, you're going to transition to something else, that property can still be a valuable piece of real estate in your portfolio. I always say equity equals long-term wealth. So I think I kind of touched on that through a few points, but I really wanted to drive that home for you. We have that little thing, equity is dead money. If you have equity sitting in a property, you can't access it, you can't use it. Well, let's figure out how to get that wealth really working for you. Let's make sure the properties and areas we're investing in are going to help you to develop and grow in equity. Again, real estate is available and transferable. There's a lot of opportunities, and there's a lot of ways to get real estate working for you. And again, myself, Sarah, we're here to support you guys through your investment journey and make sure that you understand how to really leverage and maximize on your real estate opportunities. So why I love pre-construction. I love pre-construction. All right. So pre-construction, I love it because it is so flexible. Again, anybody who knows me, I am very floaty, if we'll say. I'm very, what's going here, what's going there, what's going on. I want to be able to kind of go with the flow. And I find pre-construction is excellent because it helps to just flow with you through life, right? If you have a change of job, if you have a change of situation, if you change of location, family grows, family small, I don't know, things are changing. Well, I don't know. We won't get into that. But yeah, so it is flexible for you. It is flexible for you. So you might purchase today with the intention of moving into the property in 2 or 3 years. And again, something changes. You can utilize that assignment strategy. So you've purchased the property at today's value, and you're selling at the future projected value, or in the future. And that spread between where you purchased it at today and the value tomorrow is your profit. Of course, minus your expenses, that's your profit to be able to leverage and work with. So that's the assignment strategy, and it's there as an investment strategy. So a lot of people use it as an investment strategy, but again, it's also something that works with the flexibility of life. Okay, flexibility, change in situation. Pre-construction also, again, because of the time from purchase to your closing date, is given time for that property to grow in equity. So that value is increasing. And that equity, again, is going towards that long-term wealth development for you. So again, that equity, perhaps you're cashing out on an assignment strategy. That equity, you're gonna buy, close it, hold on for it for 2 years, sell when the market's high. Again, access that equity. It's stuff that's working for you. I always say cash flow with pre-construction is usually pretty good. You're getting a property at excellent value. It's new. It's going to be easier to rent. It's beautiful. It's shiny. There's all these amenities and features around. You're going to be able to rent it out, right? Lower cost in maintenance. Projects like this have your carry-on warranty, or your warranty things are still under warranty. It's a newer project, so it's a little bit easier to manage and kind of get your foot in the door, especially as a beginning investor. Something really exciting about Calgary, I would think, is having access to property management. I think that's excellent. There's a lot of really great property management companies, and we can certainly recommend some for you. And some of the opportunities in Calgary also have like rental guarantees and things like that. So definitely stay in touch with us. You want to be involved. You want to be in the flow with what's happening in Calgary, and so that's something I find is really unique and exciting about there. Pre-construction there. So let's get into why Calgary. That's a big reason many people are on the call today. So I'm just going to slide this over again. Why Calgary? Why Calgary? What is going on in Calgary? So I will always say Calgary is booming. There's a lot of really exciting things going on. I'm going to highlight some of these points for you guys if I stop doing that. Okay. So one thing here is no land transfer tax. So when I talk about closing costs, and getting started in the market or even expanding your portfolio, it's very, very affordable to put the money into an investment in Calgary. So no land transfer tax is excellent. And no, in terms of the taxes, there's no HST. You just pay your GST. There's no HST. And I think I had a point on the first slide. So you will pay GST. You will not pay HST there. Okay. Alberta favors the landlord and the investor. And I find this to be a very strong and valuable point. Okay. The reason I think this is so important, especially for anybody who's in Ontario and maybe you've had some challenges as an investor, as a landlord, it's really tough. It can be really, really tough. Even this point here when they talk about no rent control. So we know in Ontario for some time we were frozen over the time during COVID, where we were not able to increase rent, right? I think now they've decreased the rate to 1.2, so you can, but it's still very limited. But in Calgary, you're not having to worry about the rent control. You can watch the market, you can charge your rent accordingly. I think that is excellent. You as the landlord, you as the investor are in control of that. We're seeing an increase in population there, so I think that's excellent. It's a lot more multicultural, it's more diverse. People are moving. I'm sure most of us can probably think of a friend or a family member or someone who has relocated to Calgary, and it's for many of these reasons, the affordability and all of the exciting growth that we're having in the industry. Initially, when I started talking to people about what's happening in Calgary, they were kind of stuck on, oh, it's just the oil industry, it's up and down. But there's a lot more. And Sarah's going to kind of even just mention some of the businesses that have been popping up and investing here. Calgary has a very pro-business economy. So again, an excellent place to invest. If we know that the population is increasing, the industry is increasing, more people are going to need access to, to real estate. So let's buy it and rent it to them. So we're having highest wages per employee.
Stephanie,
Yes. Yes, Sarah?
sorry to cut you off. I have
No.
a question for you in the chat.
Okay.
Mark is asking, what are the negatives with pre-construction?
What are the negatives with pre-construction?
Yes.
Okay. A negative with pre-construction could be if you don't plan properly. So if you if you're not working with a realtor and you don't really know what to expect and you go and sign a builder's deal and you haven't done your research, I've seen some people get into a little bit of trouble with that. So I think also when working or when looking to purchase pre-construction, I would definitely suggest working with an experienced pre-construction realtor who can advise you on some of these things to look for. I know some people don't want to spend the couple $100s to do a lawyer review. Highly recommend and make sure you do that. You want to understand the contract that you're purchasing. You want to make sure that if your intention is to assign a unit, you've got that assignment clause. So I think those are some things that can go wrong when people just don't do their due diligence. Also, not doing your research on the area that you're investing into. Again, we've done that. We're handing it to you. Again, I always encourage everybody to do your due diligence with these purchases, but some people don't really know what to look for in a growing, expanding city to see the return that they hope to get. So I think that would be it. Just really what could go wrong is just not really following the process and not being informed. I think a challenge sometimes can be assignments. Again, if you maybe haven't done all of the research necessary or maybe haven't or maybe somehow hitting some roadblocks as it comes time to assignment. So with all my clients, I always say, I know if your intention is to assign, that's great, but I still encourage my clients to purchase a property that's within, if you had to close it, that you could close the property, now let's flip it and sell it. So I think some people just get themselves stuck by failing to plan properly. So thanks for your question, Mark. Yeah. You know what, Sarah, how about you maybe jump in? So I'll go through some of these snapshot points about what's happening in Calgary, and then I'll maybe invite you to touch on some of the industry and stuff that's happening there. So again, Calgary voted the #1 most livable city in Canada and the most livable city in North America. So very exciting. It's very affordable living costs and very affordable closing costs. We're looking at around like $2,000 in closing costs, which is amazing. amazing compared to what we can pay here in Ontario. As I mentioned, very pro-business economy, low tax for business climate, which is really helping to promote the growth and expansion that we are actually seeing happening there. I mentioned about the population growth, multicultural community, and we have the youngest demographic population in Canada there, which is really cool. Again, more room for growth. And obviously looking at the investment real estate cycle, it's very, very attractive to get in there. So Sarah, can you share, because I know some people have asked, what kind of industries or what expansion are we seeing happening in Calgary?
So we have Air Products Hydrogen Complex. We have Amazon Web Services and Cloud Computer Service Centers. We have a Line 3 pipeline complete, which runs from Edmonton to Wisconsin. That is amazing. There's so much going on, and these are just like a couple of the things that are happening. And it's just Calgary is booming. There's a lot going on. A lot of people just think that it's just the oil, which is great, but there's a lot more going on with the tech and Amazon and everything else. So yeah, that's why we like Calgary.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, so this project itself that we're featuring today is in Mahogany. So Mahogany is a lakeside waterfront development. So definitely one of my passions over time has been looking at different waterfront communities. So when I saw this one, I was very, very, very excited. The properties in the area in Sandgate, some of the condos, the detached homes are all, $3, $4, $5 million. So it's a very high-end desirable community. And it's excellent that we're able to get into this at such a low price point just to begin, right? And obviously over time, again, that equity builds. But if we're investing in a place that already has a lot of solid value in terms of the real estate, we know that we're in a very good position to start out with. So this was an important point. We got access to launch this project just a few days ago, and we are actually sold out already on some of these floor plans. So I really wanted to let you guys know that where we are over the last few days, we've sold out of the 1+ dens already, and this is just we didn't even get to launch our call here today. This was just sort of word of mouth, reaching out to some of our clients, and so in terms of units in the 260s, again, it's limited units remaining. We have about 4 of those left over right now. There's a lot of different plans. Pricing across the board is excellent. The units are very spacious, and I will be covering some of the floor plans with you today. But please understand, something about pre-construction is that units go. When investors see the 10% down on signing, 10% of a 260 unit is $26K. The price point and ability to enter is amazing, and people are just jumping into this project. So I'm going to have Sarah post in the chat for us. For those of you who are very interested in this project and want to know how to reserve a lot, she's going to point right out the things that are required that we need from you to be able to reserve a lot. It's very simple. It's
Stephanie,
phone number. Sorry,
I have
Sarah?
questions for you when you're ready. I have questions for you in the chat.
Okay, you can go ahead just let me I'll make those points, you write them down, and we'll answer a few questions. So yeah, so if you were interested, I'm kind of doing first come first serve today. You would just let me know, hey, I'm really interested in one of those 260 units, the 1 beds, or I'm really interested in a 2-bedroom 2-bath. I'll show you the floor plan and cash flow, really good. So you would send me your email, your phone number. That's how the builder needs to contact you and send you out your agreement. Once you sign the agreement, you enter in a 10-day conditional period where you can go and have that reviewed with your lawyer and make sure everything's in place. Okay, so we need email and phone number, very important. We're obviously going to need your name. We're going to need to know your employer and your occupation. If you're self-employed, that's great. Let me know what you do. Let me know the name of your company. And we need the front and back of your ID. So that's all we would need today if you're looking to reserve a lot. Obviously, you're going to have to put the 10% deposit down, and we'll kind of go through that today. So Sarah will put that up in the chat. And yes, Sarah, I'm happy to answer a couple of questions before we move on.
So somebody's asking, what if after 2 years the project doesn't get done for whatever the reason? Do we get our money back?
No. There's certainly delays happen. That is probably something that's pretty common in real estate. Sometimes there are some delays. You wouldn't get the money back. You're entering into a contract, and your contract usually indicates like a inside closing date and an outside closing date due to delays. If a builder goes way past, sometimes there's like compensation. Again, you kind of go into the contract in details with your lawyer to fully understand what they're doing there. But that's typically how it works. If there's little delays, you just got to kind of plan for it. I always say delays work for you because during the time, once you've finished those two deposit payments, there's no expense to you. You're not paying land transfer, any property taxes, sorry, you're not paying mortgage payments. You're not having to rent out or have any property management fees or anything like that. You're literally just sitting and waiting while the property value increases. So most of the time, the delay, if there is a little bit of delay, it's actually working in your favor, right? More time to improve on a credit score to get a better interest rate, more time to save, perhaps to put a larger down payment and get more cash flow out of your unit. Maybe you're looking to do a joint venture, more time to find people to connect with and leverage on your investment. So I find the time in pre-construction usually just works in your favor.
Okay. And the other question is, who is the builder and what is their track record?
Great. Excellent builder that we're working with here. I would say that if you want to go in a little bit more detail with them, then we can definitely kind of follow up with you. But this is a very prestigious property that this builder has been able to get access to. So not everybody was able to just put up a building here. Some builders, as far as I've understood, as we did some research here, were even not allowed to have access to the property to build in. So it's a very exclusive neighborhood. It's a very high-end neighborhood, and they will make sure that only quality builders have had access to be able to build and offer these opportunities to the investors. Any other questions before I move on, Sarah?
No, you got them all. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay. So I wanted to touch on a few of the points here. So it's it's one block from Sandgate, sorry. As I said, very upscale condos are in the area. Detached homes are there as well, over the 3.5 million price point. There's jazz club, steakhouse is there. There's upscale retail in the area. You will have access to amenities such as the beach that's actually there. There's a beach club. So for those who are interested and enjoy doing like water sports and activities there, you're able to get involved in all of that. You have access to best lifestyle. And to be honest, these waterfront, lakefront type communities really have excellent resale value. So you're investing in something very quality. We talked again about some of these points. So it's no HST, you're just paying your GST. There's no land transfer tax. There's no rental controls here. Very large, spacious suites, and we'll go over some of the plans there. Cash flow projections are looking very good. But again, you look at market rent. You can work with your property management team so you don't have to fly back and forth if little things are happening. You have someone there to take care of that and give you that peace of mind. You watch, you adjust the rent as is appropriate. For this project, it's a very excellent, very reasonable, very good and accessible. Accessible is the word I'm looking for. Deposit structure. So it's 10% of the purchase price. So you would select your unit and your plan. 10% of the purchase price is due on signing for the unit, and then you do another 5% in 6 months. You will have a parking included. That's also excellent. In Toronto, for those of you who are pre-construction investors, you will know that you're going to pay 30 to 50,000 in most cases for parking space, and we have those included for you with these units, so that is very exciting. Again, it's just an excellent investment opportunity. Here's a little view of the beach club there. It is Calgary's largest lake, so it's on 63 acres, 21 acres of beach, and again, just a fantastic place to live and be and access. The amenities are excellent, and I think just really having access to this lake, really, what's the word? If any of you guys have been to Calgary, Alberta, and just been able to be out in nature, I find that this project really fits into like the essence of Calgary and that area. So beautiful. Just, a few great points, of course, is the price point. So we're having units from 260s, limited units available, limited units remaining. So again, kind of check into the chat, connect with us, get us your information if you're wanting to lock in on one of these lowest price points units. It's 10% on signing, 5% in 6 months, and then you're done. You would work with your mortgage broker to understand about your down payment and what that looks like. But once the deposit is paid, you're good. You just wait until you're closing. And again, very, very spacious, beautiful designs. So just looking at some of the cash flow projections that they have, again, no rental control. So as the market is booming and the project is developing and buildings are going, you can watch and adjust your cash flow and rent amount. This unit is 260,000. So it's one of the 1 bedroom, 1 baths. It is 600 square feet. Where are you going to find that in Toronto when we're talking about price point for brand new waterfront community? It's just not going to happen. I really love the layouts of the plan and the spacing of these units. You're having a nice sized balcony. Your master bedroom, or your 1 bedroom in this case, goes into the walk-in closet, goes into the bathroom, and it's kind of like a semi-ensuite in this one. Laundry rooms are spacious. Most of the laundry rooms I see in condos are usually like just little closets with your stacked washer dryer. So it's nice that they've kind of laid that out a little bit. So this is an example of one of the 260 units. And as I said, we have a limited amount remaining on these ones. This is another plan. So we're looking at one of the 2 bedroom, 2 bath. So you can see the plan there. Again, I love the spacing in the unit. So when I'm going over floor plans with clients, I like when the rooms are separated, because even if I'm thinking like we're renting out rooms separately, somehow the division of space is very nice. So for example, master bedroom here again has a walk-in closet, goes into its own private master ensuite. Very spacious kitchen, living room that goes onto the balcony. Nice laundry room ensuite there, and looks like a nice little pantry in the kitchen as well. And here's some of the cash flow projections. So this unit is just a little bit over 900 square feet. So very, very good. There are plans I looked up, some of the models go up to like 4 bedrooms, for example. This one here on the left side is 1,429 square feet. Obviously it's on the corner, so that's why it's got that layout there. But again, very, very spacious, huge pantry. When I saw that, I got excited. I love I love nice sized pantries in the kitchen. So that looks good. And this was one of the plans I really liked of the 2 bedrooms. Look at the master bedroom on that 2 bedroom. There's like enough room for a sitting area. Again, when you kind of think of some of the stuff you see and pay for in Toronto, there's no way that you are going to get this much square footage, this much, high quality design and lifestyle in Toronto at all. So excellent pieces of property, of real estate to add into your portfolio. So here's again, and just another picture of the beach club and the beach that you will have exclusive access to by owning here in Sandgate. And Boyd, are you here with us?
Hello. Hi,
There we go.
everybody.
Hey, Boyd. So Boyd is here. Boyd is our broker of record here at Manor Hill Realty, and I'm really excited and grateful to have you here on the call. I really was just excited to hear all about the expansion, what's going on in Calgary, what's going on with the project. So I'll let you just take it away. I'm sure everybody's a little tired of hearing me talk. So thank
You
you,
did a great
Boyd.
job. Great job. So I was sort of following the chat a little bit and listening to Stephanie and multitasking. So there's a few questions on here, and I know Stephanie's answered them, but I kind of want to add to her answer, because I know one person asked about, if in 2 years the building is not done, what happens at that point? We get our money back. Well, Stephanie's already answered that, but I do want to add one thing, that in case the building does not get done or the builders change or whatever, In Ontario, you are protected up to $40,000 on your deposit. However, in Alberta, your deposits are protected up to $100,000. So if there's any reason, which we foresee no reason why, sort of add on to another question that was asked, who's the builder? It's Hopewell. They are a really good builder and reputable builder in Calgary. And as Stephanie said, they're also a builder in Edmonton. And as Stephanie said, only certain builders get into Mahogany. So a lot of builders put in their bids to get into this community and they couldn't make it. So they kind of did pick Jmar's one of the builders. There's a number of top end builders, Hopewell, who kind of got into the pick, Morrison. So it was a very selected community on the type of builders that went in here, that it represented the same sort of level and quality right throughout the community. So hopefully that answers a couple, or completes the answers of a couple of questions that was out there. And I saw in the chat as well, is there any limited, is it only the ones under 300,000 that are limited? To be quite honest with you, we sold out, literally, as Stephanie can tell you, we launched the project on Friday, just a light launch. And here we are now, and already we're sold out of 1+1s. There's only 4 1-bedrooms left. A couple of them at the 260 range, and a couple of them that are a little bit higher floors. So in that case, there were just a little bit more. But yes, to answer that question, the limited inventory, a lot of it is under the 300,000. So just to give you that, to answer those questions. Mahogany, what can I add to it? Stephanie's pretty much said everything, but it was voted Calgary's Community of the Year. So she talked about, Calgary being the #1 city in Canada and North America, #5 in the world. And then when you take that in and you throw that this is the, the #1 community in that city, that speaks pretty highly of the type of community. It is a very private, it's not a gated community, but I've personally drove through it. I've been there, was there. I'll be back there next week, actually. And I'll tell you, it has that feel of a gated community. Some of the estate homes on the lake are actually gated in. It's quite interesting. They just put such an upscale feel to the community. Again, the type of retail, the best steakhouse in all of Calgary, they say arguably could be the best one in the country, is in Mahogany. So just for those of you that are steak lovers, those of you that are vegetarians, we'll find a better restaurant for you, okay? But listen, it's a great community. Some of the things just to add to it, it is a man-made lake. It is a stocked lake. It is trout that is stocked in that lake. And residents are able to fish that lake. You're able to take 2 fish per day or 12 per week total. So interesting, if there's any fishermen or ladies in the group, you can actually fish this lake. Wintertime, there's ice skating rinks there. So it's literally, it's not just a summer setting, it's an all year round type setting. The autumn. One of the things I will add to sort of this community and why is it so popular, even amongst the locals, is primarily because of the fact that Calgary is not a city of a lot of, like Toronto, we have a lot of people with pools in their backyards, and there are some in Calgary. But you'll find that many of the lakes around the mountains and in the Calgary area are glacier. They're fed by the glaciers from the mountains. So they're extremely cold. The average water temperature in the summer of a glacier lake is 5 degrees. So that's where it warms up to. So anybody wants to swim in that, go right ahead. Mahogany, being a man-made lake, it actually warms up, fresh water. So it really brings sort of a whole different feel and a vibe of, that community, the summer, the beach, because it's really not that type. I mean, we have a lot of wonderful lakes in Ontario, but when you think about it, their lakes are different than what we have, and our lakes warm up really nicely. So just a little extra things about Mahogany that sort of add into there. But again, great community. It's in the southeast of Calgary. It's sort of been set on its own. Surrounded by other communities, just really that complemented Mahogany. It was kind of built as that pinnacle in that surrounding area. So again, talking about the community, the builder is reputable. I don't know if there's any other questions that anybody wants to ask me about that. I did see in one of the messages question about at what point as an investor do I have to go there? And I think this is the one thing that I'd like to answer. You don't at all. You can sit on your couch. You can invest. You don't have to go. The one benefit I think that we bring to the table is this, the investment. And if I can just add to it, I'm not only licensed here in Ontario, but I'm also a licensed realtor in Alberta. The fact that we do have our own connections and manor is now expanded into the Calgary market. We are working with and partnering, and we've actually had some property management companies that would like to amalgamate in with us. So literally, we can cover you from the sale to from the purchase to the sale to the property management. You do not have to worry about it. Even dealing with the lawyers, it's all virtual. So it's very, very simple. It's a great opportunity. For maybe one of the things I will add about the Calgary, and sort of for those of you that have been looking at the Toronto market and seeing sort of a little bit of the prices and the adjustment in the market here, here's some things that you probably would like to know. May 2022 is the highest recorded record sales in Calgary's history. So they had more sales this past month. The prices went up 15% in the last month, month over month. We're having, in some parts of Ontario, decreases in prices or a flattening of pricing. There, they are having increases. Now listen to this, investors. This is actually phenomenal. Calgary's actually got waiting list at property management companies for renters. They are in bidding wars on the rentals there. People cannot get rentals. There is not enough property for them to rent. So this is a tremendous opportunity. And this is really what began to drive a lot of Ontario investors to the Alberta market, was the fact that there was a great opportunity there. The price points. So, and I tell all this all the time, Moody's and Reuters, both last year, economic reports on Calgary was that even if Canada flatlined, they still have a 30 to 40% price growth to catch up to the rest of the country. Let me give another comparison. Ottawa and Calgary are very similar sized cities. The average price in Ottawa right now is roughly in the 800,000s for the average home price. Calgary is in the 500s. So even if the entire country cooled down right now, Calgary has to catch up. Alberta has to catch up. Again, things we didn't talk about. That's oil. It's not just an oil province anymore. And for those of you that think it's all oil related and the government, in those oil sands and the tar sands, they actually found lithium. We are sitting on one of the largest deposits of lithium in the world. So they call that the new oil, the tech oil. And what's going to happen is that if they turn on the pumps to pump oil, Alberta's making money. If they don't turn on the pumps, they're going to pull lithium. They're still making money. So even people like Elon Musk has had his eyes wide open in the last 6 months on Alberta and said, what is it with this province? Because the tech has gone there, the fact that they do have lithium, even Hollywood North is now, generally Calgary will do anywhere from 2 to 8 movies a year. They have 200 scheduled for this year alone. Alberta has reduced its corporate tax rate to a maximum of 13%. So all of these things add to what Stephanie and Sarah was saying, is that why Calgary? Because really it's its time. It's really been under the radar for so long. The rest of the nation has gone up in price, and Alberta just was a little late getting there, but now they're playing catch up. So many investors that have gone into that Alberta market have had tremendous success in a very short period of time. So honestly, I think this is a phenomenal project. I've been in the community. I think it's an amazing community. I would live there tomorrow. It's absolutely phenomenal. The lakes, the beaches, it's really upscale. It really feels amazing. I was asked the question today, can you compare it to a community in the GTA? And I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I said, I can't, because we don't have one like that here. We do not have that kind of lake community with the beaches that really was developed for its residents. And let me add one last thing. If you're a resident of Calgary and you live in another part of the city, you can drive through Mahogany, but you're not allowed to go to the beaches. You're not allowed to use the beach club. You're not allowed to go on the lake. This was a lake built for its community. So that's one of the most amazing things, is that no, it's not going to have 50,000 people on the beaches, only the residents, the homeowners in that community. So I think that is what they're doing is absolutely phenomenal. Do I need to add anything else? Did I get everything?
Boyd, you have a question in the chat, if you can answer that.
Okay, do I? Okay, what's the question? What's the question?
It says, if time permits, can you explain the cash flow return in layman terms, and what is the fee for property management?
Okay, so let me start with the fee for property management. And that's a great question. Generally speaking, so Alberta's property management is regulated, where in Ontario it is not regulated. Generally speaking, and I'm just giving you a general number, most property management companies will usually run on a 10%. So that's what they're charging, a 10% fee. Now, our objective at this moment as a group, and because we are there on the ground, is to kind of look at how we can find the best property management that will obviously give us the best returns. So while I can give you a general number, if you were to call, you know, half a dozen property management companies, you'd probably get that 10% range coming out. At the end of the day, we're looking at how we can best facilitate our own clients and look after them on that. Can I explain the cash flow returns in layman's terms? Well, I can, or does Stephanie want to do it? I mean, you know, it's you want to do that, or would you like me to do it?
You can do it. I can go back to maybe I can go back. Let me see. Yeah, maybe this one. You want to?
Okay. So in many cases here, and first of all, we did not create the cash flow projections. So I think a lot of the cash flow projections that you're seeing were created by the developer and its marketing team that were there, that I have actually worked with very closely. The marketing team does and is associated with property management companies. So I believe in a lot of cases when they're looking at that cash flow projections, they're looking at sort of what that property, what it's going to cost you. You got 15% down, what your mortgage is going to carry for, obviously the condo fees are involved, and then in return, what that's going to rent out on a monthly basis. So we didn't create those, so it's a little hard for me to give you specifics as to the 171, the 221, the 271. But I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, you know, again, where they got sort of the rental amounts. As Stephanie said, Alberta is not regulated on its rents. So you can have a tenant in there this year and charge them, let's use a lower number, $1,800 a month. And next year their rent comes due, you can charge them $2,200 a month. There's absolutely zero regulation to the amount of rent that you can charge somebody. It's also landlord friendly. So if you have a problem with the tenant, literally a property management company can have a tenant out of your property in the province of Alberta within 5 days. That's all it takes. Okay. They literally call the sheriff. They come in, and here's the thing that's amazing, guys. If that tenant owes you money, let's say they owe you $3,000 of back rent or $4,000, the sheriff's responsibility is to sell their possessions in this unit and then give you the money first. So actually, that's how it works in Alberta. That's why so many people, even not just the price points, have decided to invest in Alberta, because if there's an issue, like here in Ontario, if we have a tenant that's bad, it seems like it takes forever to get them out there. So, so honestly, I think at the end of the day, that rental, having that landlord positive, the government is very positive towards landlords. So one thing that it has created amongst the local community is this, and I've talked to many property management companies, and they said, renters know in this city to pay their rent, because if they don't, they're not going to be here. So they just know that. Here in Ontario, in a lot of places, they get away with murder, so they keep doing it and do it and do it and provoking and not paying. There it's different. So it's very quick, very simple, and very effective too. And so it's very landlord friendly.
Yeah, thank you, Boyd. Okay. Any other questions in there for us, Sarah?
No, you guys answered everything perfectly. Everybody seems happy for now. Thank you,
Good.
Boyd.
Yeah, Boyd. Any final thoughts or points, Boyd?
Well, my only final thought and point is this, guys. I've been doing Calgary and been going out there for the last year. I've looked at literally hundreds of projects. Two projects that if any of you have heard me talk about projects, two projects that I've absolutely just gone head over heels about. One was Gateway in West Springs, which is in the Aspen area. I personally bought there. I absolutely fell in love until April when somebody took me to Mahogany and I went, crap, what is this place? That is the truth, guys. I sat there and said, why did I buy so quickly? I'm not regretting. But honestly, and I'm actually looking at getting in. This community literally blew my socks off. So that's not trying to sell you. I sold myself, and this is in all the projects I have seen in the past year. This was number two that I went, yes. What blew my mind was when they came out with the one bedrooms at 260. And I went, holy, because the one bedrooms in the other project we were looking at were in the 400s.
Yeah.
So guys, when I tell you this is mind blowing, and for those of you that are looking at potentially buying here, let me explain to you, those that have been around me and many of our realtors in our company literally invested in this project. We have lots of units purchased by our own realtors because they knew the passion I had the first time. And guess what? My eyes lit up again. And they're like, and then they did their research and realized this is the right price, the right project, the right community. And I'm going to tell you right now, we will have other great projects coming, but you will not get in Mahogany. They will not be this location. So I'm telling you right now, people that invest into this, that have renters are going to want to be in this community. It attracts older, it attracts younger, it attracts families. Why? Because of all the amenities that it has to offer. So really, the last point I would make is, guys, it is a phenomenal opportunity. And that's why we have limited 2, 3, 4 units left under that 300,000. And when they're gone, they're gone. And where's the next price point? Probably in the 350s plus to get to that point. So if you want interest in this, I'm telling you right now, don't hesitate. That's not meant to be salesy or pushy. Guys, it's just a phenomenal project. Don't miss out. It's great. So that's how I feel.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Boyd. Thank you. All right. All right, guys. Well, yeah, thank you again for being with us. Thank you so much, Boyd. Thank you, Sarah, for watching the chat for us. So I just wanted to kind of recap, go through a few things again, because we're just hitting that 8 o'clock mark and I really wanted to wrap up within the hour. So again, we're really encouraging you guys, if you've been looking for the right project, this is it. This is the right investment. This is the right time. This is the right space. This is the right community. This is it. This is something that's going to pay you back with your cash flow. It's something that's going to have equity. Reserve your lot. So in the chat, again, we've posted just a few simple things that you need to send to us to reserve your lot. We're selling out. Obviously, you can see why we're selling out. There's just limited units available under the 300 mark, like we said. Email, phone number, front and back of photo ID. We need your employer and your occupation. So those are things we need to be able to reserve a lot. If you want to have access to the package, so you want to look through like the brochure, reach out to us. I'll make sure my contact information is up. You can just reach out. We'll shoot it over to you, as well as the floor plans and pricing. So you let me know, like, I want one of those 260 units. I'll go and see what we have in terms of one bedroom. You tell me you love to have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. We'll go to the list to make sure that we get something locked in for you guys before it is gone. So I am, again, posting up my contact information here, and I'm going to have it for you to be able to reach out to Sarah or I if needed. You may have some questions about, again, getting started in real estate. You may have some more questions about pre-construction. We're here and available to make sure you guys are comfortable and really support you through the process. It can be a little bit, scary sometimes. People think about, even purchasing something outside of the city that they live in, and here you're purchasing outside of province. But there's so many benefits to to investing in Calgary. And I think, I hope that we've done a good job highlighting and helping you guys understand. And we're here to just walk you through the process. We've really done a great job of connecting with industry experts and people who really know what they're doing and help to make sure that your purchase and your transaction is very successful. So we are here for you. You can ask us anything, anytime. I shouldn't say anytime because sometimes I get your messages at midnight. No, I'm joking, but feel free to reach out. We are here. We are here to support and help. As Boyd mentions, we are going to have other exciting projects coming, so stay in touch. I do try to make sure I'm sending out on my broadcast list every once in a while when I have something very exciting, a special unit, special prices. So if you want to stay in the loop on what's happening, if right now isn't the perfect time for you to invest, stay connected. That's my WhatsApp. You can tell me you want to be added to the broadcast list, and I'll make sure you know of the next upcoming thing. We have a lot of exciting stuff coming, but as Boyd said, it's not going to be at this price in this location at this time. And if you are ready, I would say jump in right now and reserve your unit before it is gone. All right. This last point, of course, you would send in your information to reserve your lot. That goes on the worksheet. Your deposit, 10% initial deposit is due at the time of signing. We'll let you know about how to get your deposits in. Then you enter your 10-day conditional period. That's when you go and you work with your lender, get your pre-approval letter, do your lawyer review, make sure everything is lined up nicely. And once you're ready to move forward, you firm up your deal. If for some reason something happens and you need to rescind that thing, we do have, that's the purpose of your conditional period, is to be able to go and do your due diligence on the project and on the agreement and on your financing and everything like that. That's why it's there. We're here to support you, answer all of your questions. And I really just wanted to thank everybody who is here with us today for your participation, for your questions. You helped to bring out a lot of great information. I'm really, really grateful for you. Again, you can reach out to me if you do need a recording of this call to share with your family and friends because you want them to go in with you, or you want to buy 3 units instead of 1. You can just reach out to me and I'll make sure you guys get a copy of the call today. Okay, our information is there. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Good night,
I will hang
everybody.
out a little bit longer if you do have some more questions in the chat, but I'm just going to end the recording here. And if you guys need to go, again, have a great evening and thank you for being with us.
Oh, and also to add to your point, if anybody needs a recommendation for a lawyer or someone to help with mortgage or your pre-approval, we do have people that we work with, that we recommend, that we use ourselves, and we've done all the hard work, so you don't have to worry about it. They know how to go over everything, especially for investors and everything else. So feel free to reach out to either one of us and we can help you guys.
Thank you so much.
Have a